Good afternoon, or good evening, good night, or good morning, everybody. My name is Mark, and I'm going to do a tutorial series on programming. I've done a few of these in the past, where I haven't got past version 1 because I need to make changes, but I think I've got it down now. Um, so I'm going to give this a try again. I've been promising to do this for a while. So here we go. Obviously, this is my screen, my desktop. Um, Delete recommends. I think the easiest way is to just go here. I will put this link here in the bottom of the notes. This is always with all of these tutorials are ready to go. It's and make a point about this. This URL obviously takes you here, and you can actually download this page. Probably don't have to just create a Microsoft account if you. I'm not going to go into detail and read all of this to you and all of the conditions. I'm going to just assume that if you want to know something about, if you want to learn how to program and you know something about computers. If you don't, just obviously leave me a note or get hold of me. But I'm not going to go through installs. I'm pretty sure you've done it. I just want to say one thing about this is that when you go and try and download this, it's going to redirect you to 2017. Don't, and I repeat, don't 2017. It's the newest one, but it is huge. You don't want um, all the choices and options at the download size of 2017. Um, 2015 is completely and utterly up to the task of doing anything that you'd want to write at this point in time for the next 3 years of your life. Don't worry about it. So you don't want 2017. It's a lot bigger to download and things like it. There's a lot more features and stuff that you don't need to know about now. So yeah, that's it. Just go to this link here. I will. Or you can see it there, but I'll copy it into the notes. Just click on that. That is all the downloads, but just make sure you do that. And of course, you need to obviously create a Microsoft account. But there's no cost. This is completely and utterly free of charge. Well, it won't cost you 1 cent to do that. Right, so that's that. Um, I'm not going to go through the install. I mean, everybody at this point in time has done more than enough installs and that sort of thing. And obviously, you're now about to see that I'm starting 2017. But don't worry about that. Everything that I'm showing you now is completely and utterly backwards compatible because it's all the basic stuff. There's nothing on here that you need 2017 for. So whilst this is starting, I'm going to show you um, listen to me stuttering. I'm not going to even edit this. This is not professional. Well, it's professional. I've been doing this since 1985, and I do this as my full-time um, career. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. So I have many, 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 many years of experience. I started in something called Visual Basic 3. So I did Visual Basic 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I moved over. Visual Basic became .NET, and then it became Studio, and at .NET I moved over from Visual Basic to C Sharp, and I've been on C Sharp ever since then. But I've also in the meantime picked up all the web applications, Java, C++, etc., etc., etc. And I now have my own business. I'm writing software, um, point of sale software, software that runs in the meat industry, and things like it. It's not what I want to do, it's what I need to do to pay the bills. But I'm actually moving into games development. But you need to know how to write software before you move into games. You might get depressed and that sort of stuff. But I will, when we get to the point where we write software, I will definitely make sure that we write something that's geared towards gaming. Um, I may do a course specifically on business programming later, but I think for now I'll do some stuff that's towards gaming. You know, even if we do some text gaming or something like that, because even text gaming is you need to learn the principles and take it from there. But I'm going to create a console application. A console application, as you'll see when this thing runs, is it's a console. It's just a screen. It's what we programmers used to use in the prehistoric days of before Windows came out. Um, we used other operating systems and on the mainframes, and it was just a screen with either black screen with either white or green writing on it. And you weren't even connecting. You didn't even have a PC. You had a console. You had a window to the mainframe. Only many years later that you actually had your own computer. The days when I started, computers still filled rooms. um, only right at the start when I was still at the bank, the PC started coming out, and that's when I had my 286 computer. If anybody listening to this is really old, they would recognize that word. Okay, when you've installed your version, you will get a screen that pops up that looks like this. Don't worry about that. I'm not even going to explain into detail how to go into that. All you want to do is you want to click on a new project and you want to click on a console app. So let me just go over this again. You'll find a console app. If anybody really gets stuck, I'll open up in 2015. The screen looks a little bit different to this, but I'm sure you're all able to navigate. Just get the 2015 one up and go for a console app, and then it'll open up. What this is asking is where you want to save it. For the first 6 years, don't even worry about this. Just click yes and just click all the defaults. I'm just going to click this here as a default console app number 1 and just go blank. Just click all the defaults and wait for this thing to start. So it's just creating a console app. Alright, if you really want to on YouTube, you'll find other guys that go into a lot more detail as far as exactly where to click and hold your hand all the way through. So maybe you could try that, or just send me a message and I'll help you. But I'm going to assume that you're all older than 3 if you want to learn how to program anyway. So this is starting up. It looks like it's taking a while on my PC, but as usual, I have 10,000 things open, and even though I have 4 gig of RAM on this PC, it's actually sometimes because I have so many things open, it takes a bit of strain. It just takes a while to open up. Once it's done, that it's okay. So we're going to start off with a quick discussion on variables and how they work. A variable is a thing that holds, it's a bucket. It holds um, it holds information for you. I think about that's the easiest explanation that I've heard, is that a variable is a bucket that holds the information. Variable means it varies, it can change. My name is Mark. Okay, my name is Constant. Constant, constant. It doesn't change. It's been Mark since the day I was born, and it'll be Mark until the day I die. My name is Constant. Just write that out in case I know my accent is not fantastic. Okay, my name is, come on, it's still waking up, Constant. Wake up, PC. My name is Constant. It never changes. Okay. Mark since the day I was born, and it'll be Mark until even after I die. We're going to work with PCs. Do use constants, and the point of that is that when you create a constant, you set it like that. I can't even remember if that's the right way to do it in C#. I think so. No, it's actually, I think, a const. Yeah, I'm testing myself. There we go. My name equals Mark. There we go. Huh. Okay, let's go through this. Interesting. Now this is one of the things that you find. I'm not. I'm not even going to edit this out, because what I want to prove is that programming is such a huge field. You cannot possibly know everything. You specialize in one thing. You'll do a desktop application or a phone application or a web application, and you will use a set of stuff. I haven't declared a constant in years. I'm not going to edit this out, because you must see that Google or things like Stack Overflow are going to become your friend. Why? I'm your friend because when you're going to get stuck, it's the easiest thing to just go and. Oh, probably. I don't know why. Let me just see if this isn't fixed. No, I didn't. Oh, okay, I was stupid. Alright, as I said, I haven't declared a constant in years. Okay. What it was complaining about. Why is it complaining now? Because I have too many brackets in here somewhere. What did I do wrong here? Oh. What it's complaining about is I'm declaring this thing at the start. I'm declaring this thing in the very start of the program, and the main is a funny initiating piece of of the program, which is not instantiated, and as such it's got some funny rules that apply to it. So it's complaining about very odd things that you wouldn't even begin to understand now. So what I want to do, I'll explain about these brackets now. Okay, so it's a bit of an odd, as I said, I'm not going to edit this thing out. I just want you to see me for who I am. And you'll see that I do know what I'm doing, and this is the sort of stuff also that you have to deal with in your day-to-day life when you do things that you don't usually do. You must be able to figure out what's gone wrong. Oh, right. Why it had complained here, when it's in here, is because I'd actually gone outside of the class. You see this here? I'd actually gone outside of the class without realizing it. These red squigglies are things that tell me it's not happy. Everything is inside a class. So I'd actually I need to be inside this bracket. I'll explain more about brackets now. I need to be inside that bracket when I put it in there. Now it's happy. Although it is unhappy about something else. Why is it unhappy about that? Okay. Let me explain this first, okay? I'll come back to constants now. Now this is a very odd start, but this is what you will do for most of your programming life, is you'll get these odd error messages, and it's only up to you to figure out what's wrong. Okay. I'm going to take all of these out because these are not needed at this point in time. I'll come back to using now. Everything that you this is the start. This is the point at which any program starts. It has a method called main, and every program has one start program called main, which basically says to the computer, start here. This is where you start, and it does that. So that's in here. And everything is in a method. A method is like a okay. Let's use the common thing. It's a recipe. It's a set of instructions on how to do something, how to tie your shoes. See, I can have a method here. It's a set of instructions that does something. How to wait, spelling, how to tie your shoes. I'm trying to be clever and not look at the keyboard and type. So here I have a method called how to tie your shoes, right? How to tie your shoes. From there to there. All of this that's inside here will be instructions on how to tie your shoes. Instructions on how to tie your shoes. Okay? So this method, this recipe, this how do you do it, is called a method, and it contains the instructions step by step on how to tie your shoes. Okay. Now, a computer program is made up of lots of these methods. Okay. So you've got this, and then how to brush your teeth. okay, etc., etc., etc. And all of these things tie together to make a game. Well, not to make a game, to make a program, but also how to make a game. How to brush your teeth. So we have two methods. You created two methods. How to tie your shoes, how to brush your teeth. So this program called Console App 1, okay, there's three methods. It has a start method. Every program has a point where it starts. So it has a start method. Then it has another method called how to tie your shoes and how to brush your teeth. Okay? And a program consists of a whole bunch of these methods which it executes, and that's your program. Now, obviously, I've used very silly things, but that's that. Now, when I want this program to run, okay, how do I make this run? When this program runs, it comes in here and it starts at this point here. I'm putting here a breakpoint. This is called a breakpoint. It stops the program from running. Okay. So it starts here and then it finishes. So now we're going to run this program that's going to tell me how to tie my shoes and how to brush my teeth. So if we start this program, we push run, it compiles the program, whatever, and you'll see it'll stop over here now. And now I'm going to do those two things. So we're just waiting for this program to finish building. On my PC for the first time, it just takes a while. There's other instructions it's got to compile. Just waiting for it to finish. This little thing at the bottom here will tell me when it's finished. Busy compiling, getting everything done. This is just me talking, waiting for it to happen. I could push pause, but I don't know how much longer it's going to take. Come on. Okay, so we want to run this program that's going to tell me how to tie my shoes, and then it's going to tell me how to brush my teeth. Even today, I spent a lot of my time just waiting for this thing to compile. Okay, come on. There we go, done. Okay, now it's going to run. Thinking about it, I can see it succeeded. It's starting up. When it stops, it's going to stop at this red line. How I got that there is I clicked on this grey border here, and it's going to stop. Okay, and there we go. Alright, so it started running, and it has actually, you'll see now it's built the console, and it's going to get to this point here now, and it'll stop. It'll wait for me. Okay, it's here now, it's waiting for me. It's actually stopped here. Okay, so now I want to proceed. Now to proceed, I'm now in debugging. Okay, and to debug, you push F11. Okay, so I push F11 here. Okay, there it is there. It's now going to move, and I push F11 again, and my program's done. What the hell? Why didn't it tell me how to tie my shoes and how to brush my teeth? Okay, I'll tell you why. It's because it came in here and I didn't actually tell it to run or to execute these two methods. Okay? So, what you've got to do is you've actually got to tell it to do this. Let me just change this into something that's easier to read. So, tie your shoes and brush your teeth. So, just changing them. Once again, still it's instructions on how to tie your shoes and instructions on how to brush your teeth. Let's just change that. Okay, brush your teeth. Now, do you notice that I've changed the first one to a capital on each one? And this one too. C# is case sensitive. I'm not going to tell you why I had to put the word static and void in there yet, because it's way too complicated for you right now. It was actually complaining because I had the word static out. See, if I take that out, it's going to complain. Yeah. Well, I won't go into it. Has to do with the fact that it's still part of the startup program, and just bear with me. When I explain to you later what static is, it'll make a lot more sense. I'll tell you now, it's just going to confuse you. Okay, so I've now actually told the program, I've got a method, I've got a way to do it, okay, but before I didn't actually tell it to do it. Now I'm actually telling it. In here, I'm saying by invoking, by calling this method, invoking this method, I'm actually telling the program, when you start, go here, and then go here. Okay, now you'll see, it won't just go there and then finish, because these two weren't shown before. Remember, there was nothing there. It didn't know that it had to go to tie your shoes, and it had to go to brush your teeth. Because this is the program here, that bit from there to there. That's it. Before it didn't have it, was like that. That was your program, from there to there. That was your program. There are extra bits here which are added on, which are extra chapters. But the computer doesn't know about them because you didn't tell the computer that they exist. Now, you're telling the computer, you're invoking this method. You're saying, go and execute this, and then go and execute this. Now you'll see that now when it runs now. Okay, you see it's actually running a lot faster now. So now you'll see, oh, this yellow line is here. Now it's going from here to here. It's actually trying to do that. So it's actually trying to go, but there's nothing in here. Then it comes back. Then it comes in here, brush your teeth. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Now we're writing a program that's trying to do two things. It's trying to tell me how to tie my shoes, and it's trying to tell me how to brush my teeth. Okay? So that's that. Okay, so now let's actually make it do something more. Now, on this console level, if you want to see anything on the screen, you have to output it. You have to write the instructions to the console, that black screen there. So you have to do that. I'll come into detail now about how this happens, but let's just say tie your shoes, and then over here we say brush your teeth. Let's run this again and see what's happening now. So now we're going to invoke these two methods again. Okay, let's run this again. Once again, it's going to quickly compile. Every time you make changes, it recompiles. Okay, now I'm pushing F11. Now we're going to tie your shoes. It comes to tie your shoes, and it executes this line, tie your shoes. Let's push F11 again. If I click over here, it's actually done something. It's written the words tie your shoes. So that's the instructions on how to tie your shoes. Okay, so it goes out of here. It goes back to main. It says, okay, I've executed that. Now I'm going to execute this method. And this method says, brush your teeth. We go back here. You see, your shoes, brush your teeth. So I've started my program here. I started there. It came in. It executed that method. Then it executed this method. And that's all programs ever do. So they come to the start part. Any game that you've ever played or any computer, Microsoft Word, it's gone to the start point and then it's executed. Every one of these methods, it's found here. So you'll find 50 million of these methods in here. Down here, this thing, you just keep adding methods down here. It starts here. Tie your shoes, brush your teeth, wash your face, eat your breakfast, do this, do that, until it gets to the last one, and then it quits. Okay, so it comes in here to the start. It executes these methods. Da, da, da. So all of the tasks are broken now. All the things to do are broken into smaller pieces. How to tie your shoes, how to brush your teeth, how to eat your breakfast, how to walk to school, and how to kiss a girl. So that's a program there. Okay. Time for a sip of coffee. Something you're going to be drinking a lot of. Let me just explain to you here. This here in the green is called a comment. When a computer sees anything on green, when a computer sees anything with two dashes, it ignores it. So when the computer comes in here and it sees that, it just ignores it. I'll run it again and you'll see it doesn't pay any attention. It doesn't try and execute that line. It doesn't try and execute that line. It only tries to execute that line. Let's just have a look at that quickly. Watch here. Pushing F11. Okay, go to tie your shoes. It doesn't try and execute this line and it doesn't try and execute that line. From here, watch where it jumps to. It jumps to this line first. Bang, straight there. So ignore those two lines. Those are instructions to yourself. Now you're going to think, oh, why do I leave instructions to myself? Simple. Because we are stupid and we forget things and we need to make notes to ourselves. Because when you start a program, it's one day, and then 7 months later when you're still writing the program, or 4 years later when you come back to it, you can't remember what you were doing and you need to make notes to yourself because you're going to forget. Oh, no edits, excuse that. Okay, so these are two methods. Why did it say tie your shoes and brush your teeth? It is an output, okay? You're outputting to the console, which is the black part. You're telling the program, feed this back. When you send something to the computer, it's input, and when the computer gives something to you, it's output. So you're saying to the computer, I want you to output something. I want to see something. Talk to me. In other words, talk to me, computer. Talk to me. I want to see something. And you do that in this part on the whatever is by writing the line to the screen. So this is saying computer, console, computer, write this line to the screen. Now you'll see what you're doing is you're telling it to write everything between these these round braces. Okay, why I was very careful to change that is I'll show you there are curly braces. There's a curly brace there, and there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one there. For everything, there's an opening one and a closing one. So here's the opening curly brace, and the closing curly brace. So everything in here belongs to this method. Everything in here is the opening curly brace of tie your shoes and the closing curly brace of tie your shoes. So everything in here belongs to tie your shoes. Okay, those are curly braces and these are round brackets. Okay. Now in here between the round brackets, you have to keep them right. This is something you're just going to have to remember. You can't put a curly brace here because the computer is immediately going to complain. It's going to say, I have no idea, doofus head. What do you want to do? You're insane. With time, you'll know. This is something you have to memorize. That this is round brackets, not curly brackets. You see, there are round brackets there as well, and there are round brackets there and there and there and there. It's just something you have to know. So when you want to write something out, you put it in your round brackets. Okay. So also when you write it out, you have to put it between those two quotes. Do you see immediately this thing is complained? It's put red lines on this. I'll go into more detail over all of these fancy things that are hopping up. It's the computer complaining and saying, doofus head, what the crap are you doing? This doesn't work. Okay? You have to tie this together with these quotes. a quote there. It's your opening quote. Remember, you got opening braces and closing braces. You got opening curly brackets and closing, open, round, and close. So whatever you open, you have to close. So there's your open quote and there's your close quote. Okay. So any text, any writing that you want to display on the screen, you have to put between these two. I can even put nothing. If I run this now, it'll say right line nothing because there's nothing there. Whatever I put here, even if it doesn't make sense, the computer will write that out. Because by putting these string quotes here, you're saying treat this as a string, and basically don't worry about it. It's just a list. It's a bunch of letters. I don't want you to worry about it. Just display the bunch of letters. Now, if you watch me run this, it's done exactly that. So whatever garbage you put in here, the computer is going to put back to you. This is where that saying that you may have heard, garbage in, garbage out. So if you put in garbage, you're going to get garbage back. So this is the other thing that you have to check about when you're programming. This program runs because it's dead happy. There's nothing wrong with it. But you wanted it to say tie your shoes. So there's actually a bug. Okay. It's not a runtime bug. It's not a compile bug. It's actually a runtime bug because the computer did exactly what you told it to do. You'll sit there screaming and say, "I never told you to do that. You're supposed to tie your shoes." But the computer does exactly what you tell it to do. You'll have to go back here and look and say, "Oh God, I actually told it to go blah 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 blah." Okay, I actually wanted it to say tie your shoes. Because now if you run it, so a computer is the stupidest thing out. It'll never say to you, "Hey, you didn't mean this, blah 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 blah. Did you? You meant to say tie your shoes?" Because it doesn't. It's stupid. They're not tie your shoes. So that is a runtime error. It's not a compile time error. A compile time error is when I leave out these brackets. If I leave one of these brackets out and try and run this program now, it won't run because it'll tell me. You see, it's already telling me there. This, oh, you're out of your mind. Okay, yeah. This is called IntelliSense. I'll go to this later. This is a simple one. It's telling me it knows there should be a closing bracket here somewhere, but you haven't done one. Are you smoking your socks? Then even if you try and tell it to run, it'll say to you, "Are you sure?" And then when it runs, it's going to exit. Watch it. You see, it's telling me there's an error. And then it's just going to crash. It's going to tell me again. This is a simple one. So this is a compile time error, whereas that other one with the garbage I got was a runtime error because the computer thought everything was okay. Anyway, I'll explain this again in a billion details because it's not going to make any sense right off. Okay, for example, if I did this and I took that one and I put that here and I run it. Now, this program will run because it's completely, utterly legal and makes sense. But we're wanting it to say tie your shoes. It actually goes on and it says brush your teeth. It's like you'll get this before. We're expecting one output and you'll see something. You're expecting it to say tie your shoes. And it's saying brush your teeth. It's, oh God, what the crap now? Okay, but the program is running. Stupid. It doesn't know. And then the next one it'll say brush your teeth, tying your shoes. So you get to that part. So this is debugging a runtime error. The computer doesn't crash. It's completely happy, but it's stupid. So you have to now come in here and see what part of your logic did you do wrong. That's making it not do what you wanted it to, and then you have to then fix it and and you will be doing this all of your life, fixing basically runtime errors, because you'll write stuff and it won't compile, but after a couple of years, you don't have compile time errors because you know when things are wrong. Like if I leave out the semicolon here, I'm not even going to try and run this program because when I see this, I'm not going to execute this because when I see this, it's going to complain and say, oh crap, I forgot the semicolon. Because whilst I'm talking about this is a sentence. That is the end of a sentence. Same in English, when you say the dog barked, and you end it with a point, that's a sentence in English. Okay. Well, bad punctuation, you could say that's a sentence. But your English teacher will hit you and say you need a point. You need to end it. Okay. C sharp only knows that this is the end of the sentence when you give it a semicolon, not a point. Try to put a point, it's going to complain because a point is something else. It knows that the end of a sentence is a semicolon. I can do this. This is very bad. But I can do this. See that? So I've taken this whole thing and I've put it over 3 lines. C sharp and the computer doesn't really care. This will work. It'll still say brush your teeth. Watch. Let me prove you wrong. But now you'll see that it'll work completely. But it's very bad. It's very, very, very bad. Just think of things as read in one line. See, brush your teeth. It works fine. Because C sharp ignores the white space. This is called white space. And it thinks that this is all one line. It actually thinks that it looks like this. So it's saying that, and C sharp is actually seeing that. All it cares about is this semicolon at the end. Okay, so you just go back there, close this without closing bracket, put the semicolon, it's dead happy. Alright, been doing that for a while. What are we on? Half an hour now. 42 minutes. Okay, enjoy it. Alright, so there we are. We've written a program that tells me to tie my shoes and brush my teeth. A program being a recipe, it tells you how to, or you tell it how to do stuff, and it does stuff. Okay. Yeah, I could change this now to say, make this move your bad guy, fly your spaceship, or fire your gun. We'll do that later. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. So this is where every program starts, there, and then it executes these methods. Okay. Let's quickly. Let's start with constants and all of that again. Let me see if I can do a constant again. Constant. Okay, I'll tell you what it was complaining about just earlier. Just type this out. Why? This is something I'm actually not sure about. Oh, there is the perfect example. Okay. First of all, it's not happy with that being there. It needs to be outside of a method. Okay. Now, I wanted to get into variables and then I spoke about constants. Constant being things that don't change. So what I've said to this computer is, whilst this program is running, my name is going to be Mark, and it's never going to change. I will be physically unable to change my name from Mark. Now, I said a variable is a bucket where you store things. A constant is also a bucket, but you don't change it. Okay. Variables change. They change all the time. The whole point of a variable is that you want to change it. Now let me show you here. I'm going to declare this variable, even though it's a constant. I'm going to declare this constant, and why the buckets is this. The name of this bucket is my name. I know it's Mark. So if I take this and I actually say write out my name. No, not like that. Only once. Okay, it's no longer going to write out the words tie your shoes. It's actually going to write out my bucket, but it's not going to write out the name of my bucket. It writes out the contents. So here I've made the contents equal to my name. So let's just run that and actually see how that works. Okay, let's F11 again, F11, and we get here. Now we're telling it write out that the contents of this bucket called my name. And you come here and you'll actually see Mark. Okay, because here I said create a bucket called my name, and in the bucket put the word Mark. So I created a bucket called my name, and then I put the word Mark in there. And here I'm saying write out, but I don't write out my name, I write out the content of the bucket. Watch this now. Going back to why you need to put everything that you want the computer to write out in quotes. Look, some of you may be able to guess what's going to happen when I run this. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. F11 we get here. So it's executed that. My name without the quotes, and this is my name with the quotes. Let's have a look at the screen. Look here. Here it wrote out my name because it's between the quotes. This is where we had tie your shoes. Okay, so and here it's writing out the content of what I stuck into my bucket, into the variable, into this bucket called my name. I stuck that. So when I don't put it in, I'm actually telling the computer when it gets to this line, don't write out my name. Go and look for the bucket named my name and write out the contents of that. Here, that's what's done that. And here I've done the two quotes. So it's not going to look for the bucket called my name. It just writes out my name. Watch it. Let me get really funny here. I'm going to say what's complaining is because the program's still running. So I'm actually changed that to say, so I've created a bucket called my name, and inside the bucket, this is just the name of it. Inside the bucket, I said tie your shoes. Let's run this now. If I run this, I'm sure you should be able to get the concept of a bucket and stuff that you put in it, and the stuff that you put between brackets. Okay, so let's write out. Here it says go and find the bucket called my name, which it finds there, and write it out. And here it says write out just in here my name, which it's doing. Let's have a look here. So there we have tie your shoes, which is it wrote out, it found the bucket called my name, and it went to find what is in there, and wrote out, oh, tie your shoes, and my name. Okay, so this is a constant. Okay, and this is, you can see by the word constant. So I don't know why I started on with this, but I'll carry on because you'll hardly ever use constants. What you'll probably do is you'll do this, things that never ever change. Okay, you create a constant called first month of the year, and in here you can put the word January. One of the reasons you use variables, well, apart from many reasons, or a constant, is it's an easy way to remember things. Let's just run this. Okay. Generally, you don't give your variables or your things such long names, but it needs to be something that you can remember. But anyway, let's run this, and you'll see what happens here. So you know that the first month of the year never changes. As far as I know, it never will. So, yeah, so we went and we wrote out my name, which is what is in this bucket. And it's tie your shoes. Then we wrote out my name in quotes. So this could be anything. And then we said, go look in the bucket called first month of the year. And it finds it and it writes out the word January. Okay. So constant is something that almost, no, well, I say almost never changes. But it never changes in the context of your program. Okay. So that's a constant, but now let's forget about constants and let's start talking about variables. Variables change. Okay. I can also take them out of there. Okay, I'm going to put them over here for now for reasons that I'll explain later. Two variables. One called first month of the year. Oh, because the program is still running. First month of the year and my name. Okay. In tie my shoes, I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to put them there. I'm going to put this here. No, I'm going to leave them here. And here I'm going to write out first month of the year and then my name. So I'm going to do writing out of two variables. First one I'm going to write out is my name of the year, first month of the year, I'm in here. Okay, once again without the quotes. Just forget the static. I will come back to this. It'll make a lot more sense. Okay. So we're first going to write out the variable first month of the year, and then we're going to write out my name. Okay. What we don't want between the quotes, we'll do that. And then I actually want to do the same in the second one. Yeah. Okay. So if we run this, we should get twice. First month of the year and then tie your shoes. Okay. Let's run that. Let's wait for our thing to build. Clear F11. Okay, once again, to put a breakpoint, you just go here on the left hand side and you left click, and there's a breakpoint there. To take it off, you just left click again. Okay, so I've got a breakpoint here, so the program stops running here. So F11 goes to tie your shoes, writes that, let's have a look. We have that. There goes, that finishes it, comes back, it goes to brush your teeth, writes that, let's have a look. So it's done it twice. Tie your shoes, tie your shoes, and then it comes back. Normal methods and program quits. Done. Okay. Now I remember I said before they were constants, they never change, and in fact I could actually try and change it in the program, and you will see it complain, but do that as an exercise for yourself. And see you'll see complain. What I want to do here is the first time I want to write out that, but the second time I want to change it. So here I'm going to say change the contents of this variable to that, and change this to my name. So what's going to happen now is the program's going to run. It's going to come to tie your shoes. It's going to execute. I don't want this here. I wanted it once again. Runtime errors. That wouldn't have done exactly what I wanted. Sure, you can see what I did. It'll come to tie your shoes. It'll write out those two lines, which is generate tie your shoes. Then it'll come to brush your teeth. Then I change the contents on the bucket, first one to the year, to that, and I change the name of the second one to that, and then it writes out. Same, look, it's the same name, it's the same variable that it's calling, but the contents of the variable have changed. Ha ha ha, let's have a look. I'm sure you can see that that's going to work. So we're going to tie your shoes, write that, and we get probably, hopefully as expected, January and tie your shoes, which is what I set it to here, January and tie your shoes. Now I go back, F11 again, gonna brush your teeth. And when I get to brush your teeth, it changes if you okay, I don't want to go over this just yet. It just changes it from that January, it changes it to ha ha ha, it's changed, and it changes my name from tie your shoes to Bob, and then it writes out exactly the same as those two things there. And look, magic. Ha ha ha, it's changed and Bob. So those are variables. You're changing the contents of the bucket. It varies. Ah, clever name, eh? A variable. It varies. I think what time I'll board you with. Come on, are you not coming up? I think it's pretty close to an hour's mark for now. One, two, three, this one's honestly.